Exploring Idstein, a historic walking tour of Germany's Witch Tower, Palace, and Gardens. This is our walking tour of Idstein in Germany. We really didn't know what to expect when we got here. So, when we got off the bus, you can see we were walking, but we had no idea where we were walking to or what was going to happen. But as you can see, it became clear pretty quickly that one of the main attractions of Idstein is the Hexentrum, or the Witch Tower. Here we are climbing the stairs to get to the main tourist area of the town. There's a quick look at the Witch Tower. And the reason that it's called the Witch Tower is because back in the 17th century there were witch trials. And one accused witch was held prisoner in the tower. Over 40 people were burned as witches. And there's a plaque on the outside of the building, which we don't have a picture of, that was placed there in memory of those who were murdered after being accused of witchcraft. Idstein was notorious for witch trials, as were witch trials around the world at that time. Here we are at the base of the Hexentrum. It's part of the original castle Idstein. And then next to the castle, there are some lush gardens, and they're very, very beautiful. The pictures really don't do them justice. We were lucky because the day was nice and relatively cool, so it was fine to walk out and see the gardens. This is the palace from the outside. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to tour the inside. In front of us was the Gateway Arch, and the Gateway Arch was the main way to get from the palace gardens to the town square. So here we are walking through the Gateway Arch of the castle to get to the town square and plaza area. Most of the buildings have been preserved in their original architecture and their original style. The architecture is called half-timbered because the logs were split in half lengthwise to create beams to support the buildings. There are other towns that have similar half-timbered architecture, but in Idstein the buildings are particularly well preserved. Many were built in the 1500s, so as you can see, they've been extremely well preserved. There are about 200 businesses in Idstein, and they mostly cater toward tourists, craft houses, and restaurants, places to get souvenirs that are locally made handcrafts. They're mainly there to support the population, which is about 25,000 people. And while there is some light manufacturing in Idstein, it's primarily a tourist attraction. This is the entrance to the castle, that orange door, and again, we did not have the opportunity to tour that castle that day. And here we are walking back toward the Hexentrum through the Gateway Arch. So this is the return trip. Now in the background, the white building that you can see is called the Schloss. And that was a residence palace that was built in 1614. The princes and sometimes the entire ruling class lived at that residence palace, and you can see it was separated from the main palace. Over the years, the palace has been a military hospital, a teacher training college, and today it's a school. There are guided tours available if you schedule it in advance with the Idstein tourist office. And now for the part of the trip we all were waiting for. We're walking up the steps to the Hexentrum. What's not obvious until you walk up the steps and get close to the building is that it's not really very large in circumference or diameter, but it is very tall, and the height was added on to over the years. As I said, 43 people were executed during the witch trials of 1617. Now, the witch's tower is not connected to the killings and only housed one person accused of being a witch, but it is the oldest structure in the town. Again, it serves as a reminder of a part of the past that was quite common across Europe as well as the United States, the witch trials. You can see here that the insides are restored, and you can see that the climbing was very steep. I would say it was treacherous, and if you weren't in reasonably good shape, you were going to have some challenges.
Here, the hut? No. You see here, it goes down. Really deep down. But it is not a prison. It's a room for food, because it's the temperature is about 4 degrees all over the year, and so you could keep things fresh. It was a refrigerator in medieval times, and so, but it was not used then when the castle was replaced by the palace of today. And now we go here upstairs. We are going in through the wall here. When we go here left hand side, and you see it is a very massive building here. It's 3 meters and 60 centimeters. It is an old measure, 12 Carolingian feet. Wow. It's very massive for this time.
Was this at completion of the first year? Like the first time they built it? She said
Yes, this is the original part. Yes, it was just to this floor here.
Okay.
It was in original height, and then it was
added on.
yes to the height of today's 1500. The last part of the roof was.
Some more climbing. People were starting to get really tired because the climbing was very vertical. The stairs were very close together. And then I stopped to take a photo and I lost the guide. And these are all the different doorways that the guide could have gone through. And I had no idea which door until I finally found the door that led to the continuation of the stairway going up. I wasn't the only one. There were other people who had stopped as well and lost the guide. Still climbing. And at this point, I started to say to myself, you know, we climbed up all these narrow, close, steep stairs. We're going to have to climb back down all the narrow, close, steep stairs.
So here we have one more little level. One more. But here, this is the apartment of the tower. Here,
What?
the apartment of the tower here, and he has to look for if there is any danger. And
Here we are. We made it to the top. That last set of stairs
the city, and so,
was incredible.
It was rained and dried, and so yeah. Yes. So, I think we go slowly, we go down, and so it is.
Oh, it's better to go backward on that one?
Yes.
On just that one or a couple?
And then finally on the way down, we had an opportunity to get one last look at the castle gardens from the Hexentrum. And that's just before we headed back to the bus and our ship.